Punky's World. This is our genealogy video. This video is going to be about, well, there's going to be some tips and tricks, but there's also going to be my motivation to keep doing what I do, even when I hit brick walls. One of my motivations is this right here. Things like this right here. I actually posted this on my Facebook. I was so happy to find it. This is when my grandmother applied for my grandfather's stone. From the military. And it has her actual signature on it, her actual handwriting. Trying to hold it up so you can actually see it. Where is it? There it is. It looks very similar to my own. Those are the things that keep me motivated. Like this stuff. Things like that. Things like my grandmother's letters to her, my great grandmother's letters to her sister. I love having stuff like that in her own handwriting. I about cried when I found that with my grandmother's handwriting on it. It's amazing what you can find. I think that's one of the most fun parts of doing it, is finding documents like this with not only your ancestors, but in this case, my loved one's signature, which also happens to be my name. But yeah, my loved one's signature right there. She's not just my ancestor, she's my loved one. She's my grandmother. Even though she died when I was 5.5 years old, we had her pictures everywhere. We talked about her almost daily. She was so alive in our home, and that is so special. And most people would look at that document and say, oh, okay, write down the date, not think any more of it. But for me, it's super special. Family. Wait a minute, what does it say? Freight station. Whiten Station, Linwood, Mass. Item 18. Oh. Okay. You know, so for me it's a big deal. Then I find, and I'm still trying to see if this is the Matthew Forbes. I think it is. This is, I think, Jane Kennedy's grandfather, but I'm not sure. I have to do a little more work on that. This one I goofed up on, but that's why I printed more than one copy of this because I knew I would. No, this one's the one I did right. This is a surname table. It's confusing. Okay. I think I'm finally getting it, but I'm not sure. This is all the paternal line on your dad's side, okay? Grandparents, great-grandparents, and so on. And this is your mother's line. Same thing. I'm having a hard time with it, but I think I finally got it. The paternal line means maternal grandfather and grandmother. So that would be, for example, on my father's side, Wilson, Burgess, Kennedy, and on my grandmother's side, it would be Hemingway, Bordeaux, Boisvert, Beauchamp, and on my mother's side, on her father's side, it would be Mitchell and Plant, and on her mother's side, it would be Cox and Dyer, to start with. I think I have that right. I'm going to keep working on it. I did print a few copies of it so that I could, of the blank one, so that I could work on that. But yeah, the Forbes is also in my father's paternal line. And it gets confusing because it's in his paternal line, but my grandfather's maternal line. Does that make sense? That's why I'm having trouble with it. But I need to just focus on the fact that it's dad's paternal line, regardless of what line it is on my grandfather's side. It's dad's paternal line. So I think that's where I have to go with it. These, as far as this piece of paper that my grandmother signed, again, it's a headstone thing, but it tells you their branch, their war, their rank, all of that. When they were in, where they went in, so that's, so it could be a good record for you to find, even though I think this is going to work better with stuff behind it. There's the signature. Oh, I love you, Grammy, so much. And it helps in doing genealogy if people in your family, like your grandmother, if she died when you were very young, were kept alive for you, the way that mine was. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that there were always pictures. We always spoke of her. I remember saying to my parents at my high school graduation, I was holding my flowers and standing outside of the auditorium. And I said to my parents, why couldn't Grammy be here? Your parents live in Maine, I get it. But Grammy Wilson would have been pretty dang old, but she could have easily been alive. You know, and I was talking to them about how I wished she was there, you know, and how proud I know she was of me. Um, and they said, "Oh, she's here," you know. That's what it was. I could feel her with me. I wanted her to be there with me physically, desperately, you know, but I could feel her. She was with us, Dennis. She was with us, watching her two grandchildren graduate together. Even though I should have graduated with David, but anyway, um, you know, I know she was there, and some people don't believe that, and that's one of my biggest disagreements with the Urbanowskis, is they don't believe that because they interpret the Bible a little bit differently. They believe people are laying in the cold ground consciousless, if that's a word, or without consciousness, and I don't believe that. um, I just know that my family is there because I can feel them. I was in the hospital in 2012 with pancreatitis, and my aunt and uncle would come to see me, and from New York, because they were here for a visit, and I started to cry, and I remember my uncle just held me, and I said, "This is the first time, you know, in everything that I've been through, that I have been in the hospital since Uncle Richard passed away." And he'd only passed away a year before that, almost exactly a year, because that was March. He passed away in February, so it was literally 13 months. And he says, "He's with you, honey." I said, "I know he is." And I went down to have my MRI that late afternoon after they left, and I just remember feeling him hold my hand, because I had to do it on my own because Mom and Dad were at home, and I was okay. I was okay. So I am very fortunate to have the people that I have. And my goal in my genealogy is to figure patients out before something happens to my uncle. And my uncle's 76 years old, so my gosh, he's going to be 77 this year. Wow. He lived to be way older than either of his brothers, his mother, or his father. He's got them all beat. And so does his sister. By a mile. She is, let's see, 7 years older than Dad. Dad would be 87. Wow. I did call to check on her, but I guess HIPAA applies to assisted living because they wouldn't tell me a dang thing. So I just want to know if she's alive. Although I didn't find an obituary, so I'm going to say she's still alive. She's 87. I said, her brother in New York asks me all the time how she's doing, and they said, then have him call her family. It's like, why didn't you offer to put me through to her in her own apartment? Or say, here's her phone number, why don't you give her a call? She lives in an apartment. Yes, it's assisted living, but it's still an apartment. But anyway, phooey. My cousin unfriended me because we don't have the same beliefs politically. So, or I assume that's why she unfriended me. Anyway, thank you for joining me. I hope this gives you inspiration and motivation to do what you do. If you're a genealogist or if you're wanting to become one, I have tips and tricks all over my genealogy playlist. I will link my playlist at the end of the video so you can check it out. We talk about all different aspects of genealogy. Anyway, I smell like cinnamon. So yeah, I will put that in the cards so you can check it out. Bye guys. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Do not forget to subscribe. We're trying to get to 200 by St. Patty's Day. We're at 103, and we are at 323 on the other channel and trying to get 500 by Memorial Day. So I'll see you for our next video. It's going to be arts and crafts. Bye guys. God bless you. Mwah. I'll see you in a bit.